Brexit was just the start. More countries set to follow UK out of EU, says Brexiteer. Brexit will be the catalyst for more countries to quit the EU, with Poland a prime candidate, a Tory MP has predicted. Mr. Kawczynski was speaking at the end of a week in which the European Court of Justice issued a preliminary injunction ordering a Polish coal mine to cease operations in response to a lawsuit filed by the Czech Republic challenging the mine's permit. In addition, the bloc has also launched cases relating to Poland's management of its forests, and has also activated proceedings under Article 7 of the Treaty on European Union in relation to legal reforms which Brussels claims undermine judicial independence. Mr. Kawczynski, the UK's only Polish-born MP, who represents Shrewsbury and Atcham, told express.co.uk, "What's fascinating is that the European Union, and way it's structured, of course with European Parliament, is an opportunity for opposition politicians in any country to give a perhaps sometimes an overtly negative interpretation of what's going on in their own country simply because that's the nature of opposition parties. But then the European Parliament, obviously does perhaps gets an overtly negative interpretation of what's going on. And they feel that they can impose sanctions, and Poland and other countries in Central and Eastern Europe are coming under increasing pressure, whether it's to do with coal production or something else. The European Union will not allow Poland to manage its own forests, and instead wants to prescribe the way it expects Poland to do it." Poland, led by Mateusz Morawiecki, has been a member of the EU since 2004. But Mr. Kawczynski added, "So at the moment, I think that these continue to bite the hand that feeds you. But as these countries move now from being net recipients to net donors, so I think the embryonic Eurosceptic parties will not only muster up, but they will thrive." Mr. Kawczynski said, "There is a palpable move towards a much greater willingness to scrutinize and push back against the European Union. Clearly, after 48 years of membership, the British people decided they've had enough to choose. I'm just interested to know how long it will take a country like Poland to follow suit. With respect to the action taken in accordance with Article 7, which also applies to neighboring Hungary," he said, "of course the problem that we have is that it boils down to a question of who governs. It's a very simple concept: either the democratically elected politicians who are accountable to people through elections, who can be thrown out by the people, either they govern, or the EU Commission. And I would argue that the best type of person to make decisions is somebody who can lose their jobs in 3 to 4 years' time, rather than being impervious and having the security of a tenure which is unaffected by people's reflections. Nobody can get rid of Ursula von der Leyen or any of the other commissioners who report directly to her. These people are, they are untouchable, and when you have decisions of this magnitude being made by untouchable people, then you're moving into a sort of George Orwell-type scenario. I speak as a politician with 16 years standing, and there's nothing that keeps you on your toes, as a politician, than knowing that there are people who can remove you from your position." On Friday, Vice President of the Court Rosario Silva de la Puerta announced her decision in respect to the injunction relating to Turów brown coal mine close to the Czech and German borders. She explained, "It appears sufficiently likely that the continuation of lignite mining activities at the Turów mine before the final judgment is delivered is likely to have negative effects on the level of groundwater in Czech territory.